One of the best tools that you can have in your kit is a reliable fixed blade that you carry on your hip that you know is going to be able to accomplish a multitude of different tasks. Well, I'm carrying today one of the best blades that can take on just about any challenge. Do you need to break down material around your property? Done. Do you need to dispatch some alien baddies that just wiped out your squad mates in the thick, dense jungles of Guatemala? Done and done, because we ain't got time to bleed. Do you need to split some kindling, carve some feather sticks, and strike a fire steel to help get that fire roaring? Done. Have you worked up an appetite from setting up camp and it's time to prep the meal? Done. This is the Italian-made LIONSTEEL T5, and from the apex of the blade to the canoed micarta handle scale and everywhere in between, this blade dominates. So hang on, it's gonna be a wild ride as we discover what makes the T5 so good, and are there any design characteristics I'd like to see changed? Thanks for hanging with me today, guys. I'm Aaron, this is Gideonstactical. Let's jump in. And guys, if you enjoy this type of content, I invite you to hit that like button and to consider subscribing, becoming part of the Gideonstactical crew here. Make sure to hit that bell icon so that you can be notified every week when I put up new videos on gear and equipment just like this, helping you better stay equipped and prepared for whatever life throws your way. Now, I believe the handle is the foundation to any good fixed blade. It's really where you come in contact with the tool and then dictate what it's going to do and how it's going to accomplish that. So depending on the type of grip, depending on the type of ergonomics, will determine whether or not you even want to carry the tool or not. And this blade is able to give you comfort, like many of my bushcraft knives, giving you a very full, very organic grip in the hand, and then also simultaneously giving you really deep traction points with the guard. That is just huge. Little hits of jimping that are not sharp but give you a tactile feel. And then that feather kind of span, almost like sunshine points all the way across that micarta handle scale that is textured but not aggressive, which means you're able to grip the tool and use it in woodworking tasks for an extended period of time, and it doesn't fatigue your hand. It feels comfortable and you're able to use it on outdoor adventures like this, while simultaneously having the traction and grip to have confidence in harder piercing and stabbing tasks like you may look for in, say, a field knife or a combat knife. So it's able to accomplish both of those things so well, partially because of the basically it's just a hair under 5-inch handle. That micarta has a maximum thickness of 0.9. This was really one of the first more compact, because overall it's about 10 inches, blades that I ever owned that I began to realize bigger, thicker handles, at least for me with my large size hands, make more sense. They work better for me. It means that I have a fuller grip, and that is translated throughout the entire blade. The neck barely tapers at all and just slightly here, but it's rather high and wide, and then giving you just a slight bird beak, that extended tang out the back there that you for non-lethal strikes or hammering in a tent peg if you needed to, a slightly crowned spine with one solid piece of micarta. This is not two pieces glued together or anything. It's literally a chunk of micarta that they canoed and then dropped the full tang into. And it just gives you this really good grip, real good feel. And for a full tang knife like this, when I left the vehicle to start hiking today, it was 25 degrees and I got bare hands because I'm only gripping micarta all the way around and just a little bit of the tang being exposed back there. My hand is able to do work if needed, and it doesn't get as cold and then harder to manipulate the tool as a lot of other full tang knives. So this handle is excellent and one of the best attributes to this design, what makes it so good. And leave a comment below and let me know what you think about a canoed handle scale. Do you think it's a really cool idea or just goofy over engineering? And just like how the handle empowers me to use the blade to its full potential, my Zoleo satellite communicator empowers me to explore this world in all of its magnificence to its full potential, and that's why I'm super glad that they're today's sponsor. Having my Zoleo with me on all of my adventures for going on 3 years now has enabled me to explore more for longer, because I know with the push of a button, I can message first responders in an emergency and they'll have my exact GPS coordinates, and then I can communicate with them to let them know what the situation is so that they can be best prepared when they arrive on scene. And since it uses the Iridium satellite network, I know that if I'm on a multi-day backpacking trip or just a day hike, I can message loved ones back home to let them know I'm okay, and to also hear how things are going and if I need to be updated about anything happening back at home. And if that wasn't enough, Zoleo has a holiday sale running through December 13th where you can pick up the device itself for $50 off, and that will also include a complimentary 6-month Gaia GPS Premium membership. So guys, I'll have a link in the description below over to Zoleo where you can check out all the other capabilities and features that this device has, as well as the different subscription plans that are available. So I encourage you, hop on over there, check it out, and stay connected the next time you hit the outdoors. Now, you gotta love that blade shape. There's so many little nuances with the design that not only make it stand out, but also make it very capable. The blade is gonna be 5 inches overall. Now, I really like this size. It's just large enough that I could use it as a standalone blade on a day trip like this, or even on a multi-day backpacking trip. I could span enough kindling, to break down into a fire. It has enough weight at about 10 ounces that I could delimb stuff, realistically about the size of your thumb. You could go a little larger if you need to, but clear, some branches. Now, it's gonna be 0.2 on the thickness, so it's a stout blade with a 3/4 high flat grind. So the edge geometry was excellent for that thickness. And I was really surprised, and that's why I like it so much, is that I can do woodworking with it. Now, of course, an 1/8 of an inch, like full flat grind would be better, but this is very capable for how robust the blade is. And then we have this little drop in that you can rest your thumb. That's also where the 90-degree is, or you can easily throw sparks. Then you have this raise in this swedge, but it's a very broad, wide swedge, so it makes it very easy for you to rest your thumb and do leverage push cuts if you need to. Now, what about that steel, Niolox steel? You may not have ever heard of this type of steel. Well, it's in the D2 and Sleipner family, but it is a stainless steel with a finer grain structure, meaning that it has a really good balance of not only rust resistance, but also durability for those high impact tasks like batoning or chopping, as well as wear resistance. I've seen it have similar edge retention to a few of my S35VN steel fixed blades. So it's kind of in that world, even though it is in technically the D2 Sleipner family of steels, and it's really unique, and I've been very pleased with its performance. I have not resharpened this since I've owned it. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. That still can take off my fingernail. And if you own a Niolox steel blade, let me know how it's been performing for you by leaving a comment below and sharing your experience. And so, just like how the handle has the comfort of a bushcraft knife and the tactile grip points of a combat knife, the blade does the same thing. It gives us good belly, good sweep, size, and just profile to be used. And so the blade is masterfully designed to be able to do just about anything an edge tool should do. And guys, throw down a comment and let me know if you own a LIONSTEEL and which model it may be, and especially if you own the T5 and how has it been performing for you. Another aspect that's so intriguing about this blade is the price. Now, when I picked this up a few years back, it was going for around $150 to $175 on average. And guess what? You can still score versions of these for right around $150, and there are variants that go up to about $180. So to be able to find a fully Italian-made knife with these type of features and characteristics that we're unpacking today under the $200 price point in this day and age is pretty wild. And if you are interested, there will be links in the description box below to the different options that this knife has. Now, do you guys remember back when I said that there may be a few things I want to see changed, and there are two. The first comes in with the sheath options. Now, this is one of the best production leather sheaths you will find. I love this thing. It has worked exceptionally well. It is basically silent. That was just the slapping of the paracord. You're gonna get a MOLLE compatible tab on the back that you could run on some LBE systems, double stitching all the way around, a very large slit right there for your belt, and it is almost parallel with the handle of the knife, and has a nice solid button snap that's large, tends to get out of the way. You don't have to mess with it too much. There is enough snugness and form fitting around there to give it a little bit of friction, and then easily deploys the blade. So on that level, this is an amazing leather sheath. I think they should keep it, but I think they should start offering a Kydex sheath option because the knife is so capable, and there may be people who want to deploy it in certain angles and certain ways and have a quicker access that Kydex gives you over leather, like what we would see on the big brother to that knife, the M7, which if you want a large survival knife, these are like 200 to 240, depending on where you pick them up. These are awesome options as well, much larger, beefier, not quite as like nimble and quick, but the Kydex sheath is excellent. Got a nylon backer with MOLLE tabs that you can make ambidextrous, good tension, all the things that you would want in a Kydex sheath. Something like this as an option for the T5 would be a nice upgrade. Number 2 is the steel. I've had many comments from you guys over the past few years asking me, how does the Niolox perform on this knife? Because there just isn't a lot of information out there, and there aren't a lot of knives made with this steel. Now, I've had great success with this. I would buy this knife over and over again with this steel variant and have zero issues. It holds a good edge, it's tough and durable for my needs. But if they offer this in a CPM 3V variant as well, I think there would be a lot of interest and desiring of the T5, so that there could then be 2 options. Those who want extra levels of toughness and aren't really worried about rust can go with CPM 3V, and those who still want to stick with a rust resistant variant have the Niolox option. And if they can do all that and still keep these under $200, this design will be unstoppable. Well guys, I could keep going on the aspects, the capabilities, and just the joy ultimately that this tool offers. And I want to thank you guys for making me want to do a revisit of this blade. You know, I previously reviewed it a few years back, but I got so many comments recently on this design that I felt it was necessary to touch base on it, unpack it again, and just really revisit what its capabilities are, because it is one of the few knives I believe that hits literally every single point, and there's very few things that we could say that could be changed in this design. But I look forward to hearing from you guys what your thoughts are, and just appreciate you guys hanging with me today, enjoying just being out here in creation, because you know, ultimately it's about being out here. The tools get us out here and give us the confidence and the ability to enjoy it to the fullest, but it is this majesty that is all around us of this world that makes it all worthwhile. So appreciate you guys so much. Hope you guys have an amazing Christmas and just holiday season. You guys are phenomenal. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.